In this video, I will break down the 4 core performance levers that separate the average guy from the elite. These are backed by proven biology, real-world results, and scientific evidence. Every elite performer I've trained, CEOs, creatives, athletes, entrepreneurs, win because they dominate in at least one of these 4 core vectors. Most average guys try and win all 4 at once and fail. High performers master one and then stack them strategically as they go. If you can't watch this quick video to master the 4 key things that are going to change your life, then you're pretty much screwed anyway. So if you're someone that wants to go back to the brain rot scrolling on Instagram Reels, then click off now. But if you're someone that generally wants to keep stepping forward, then make sure to watch to the end so you can understand all 4 to become the elite man that you're looking to become. Number 1 is speed. Speed is one of the most underrated fitness levers, and it's one of the most powerful. Your brain is wired for the reward. Things such as dopamine and serotonin, they don't come from the outcome, they come from the progress. When you do something well to achieve a bigger goal, you get serotonin. When you think of that bigger goal and you want to go and attack that goal, you get dopamine. You don't get these things that make you feel good in life from just taking it easy and moving slow. When you see fast results, and even if they are small ones, you get that buy-in, you get that feeling that you want to crush it, because you then start to get hope, and that makes you want to see more progress. An example of this is plan your fitness schedule to get small wins quickly. This could be depleting some carbs early on in your fitness journey so you start to look more shredded very quickly. Or even stripping that to the basics with short, intense workouts to give you that I showed up feeling. Or you might be someone more advanced, and it might be something as simple as achieving a small new record. That could be an extra 1.25 kg on the bench press. And these wins are gonna stack. And as they stack, you're gonna feel better and better and more addicted to the process. This is not a gimmick. I've had people lose over 3 to 4 kg in 1 week. And this makes them stick to the progress for the entire 6 months because they're locked in. They've seen what change can do. They've seen the results that they can get. And that comes from having the speed to make that transformation. For example, you go to the gym, you get a wicked pump. You see visually what you can become. This is you showing what speed can do. And then what you can do is then catch up with that and actually become that person. Speed trains belief, and belief builds consistency. Which brings us into vector 2. Let me be blunt here. It doesn't matter how good your plan is, how good your nutrition, workout, supplement plan, habit schedule is, if you cannot stick to it. Injuries, burnout, boredom, and overwhelm, all of this is friction that kills progress. Consistent high performers need a system that works around a chaotic life. So we build systems around effective training, which is what our adaptive performance protocol is. This includes stuff like minimum but effective training, sustainable meal structures, and recovery first protocols such as sleep and stress management. You should be able to keep training even when your life explodes. And when your life is exploding is the perfect time to lock your training in. Because if you can train on the hard days, you're going to find it easy to train on the easy days. And this builds your consistency, this builds your ability to show up no matter what. And this isn't just in the gym. This is within your business, within your work, within your life, within your family and your connections. Applying these vectors cover your whole life. Most men don't fail because they lack effort. They fail because their plan isn't built for real life. And the more consistent you are, the faster you improve with less total effort. And yet again, that leads us to the 3rd vector, which is effort. Effort is a cost, and most fitness plans are too expensive. And I'm not talking about too expensive with money, but too expensive with the energy that you need to put in. Every extra decision you have to make every single day costs mental bandwidth. Every minute spent deciding on what you need to do, deciding on what exercise or workout you need to do, takes away from the energy you can put in. And this applies to nutrition, this applies to your habits, and this applies to the tasks that you need to do in the day. Which is why having a solid plan is so important to make sure you're not spending too much of your energy. Because every single day you can only do a certain amount of things, which is why people like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and Alex Hormozi all wear the exact same things every single day, so they don't have to wake up in the morning and decide what to wear. And when it comes to the gym, you don't need to live in the gym. You just need to have an effective training approach. You want to use the energy that you put into the gym, not just in terms of the decisions you make in there, but also the actual energy you're using to do the exercise as efficient as possible. And this comes the same when you're working. The mental brain capacity that you have to do deep work, you want to make sure you're focusing as deep as possible. And you want to make sure you're in the most productive state possible. And this includes having things to help you work, such as caffeine and L-theanine to help you concentrate more. And when it comes down to saving energy when training, it comes down to a few things. Number one, training templates. Number two, exercise understanding and correct form to get the most out of every set you do. Number three is volume and training intensity protocols. And number four is workout environment. And these are just a few things that we build out in the adaptive performance protocol because they are so important to getting the most out of the workouts that you do. So all you need to think about is how can I make the barrier to entry for me as easy as possible? And these are important things to think about because the easier it is to do the things you need to do, the more likely you're going to do them. And the more of those things you can do, the further you can progress day to day. And for the final time, this leads us into the fourth vector. Ease is the silent killer of resistance. The more seamless your system, the more permanent the results are gonna be. The goal isn't to white knuckle your way through fitness and life, having a boxing match every single day with all the tasks you need to do, getting right hooked, smashed in the face, and constantly hit on the ground. Because every time you try and do something that just doesn't fit and feels super hard to do and you have to resist against, it's like you getting punched in the face but coming back up. And the less times you can feel like you're getting punched, the easier it is to win the fight. Because we all know the reason why Muhammad Ali won so much is his dodgy skills were so good. So for us day to day, how can we dodge as many of these battles that we don't need to fight? And that comes from making it as easy as possible for ourselves. So the goal is to build systems that feel so smooth they almost vanish into your life. Habits that are so easy they just sink into what you're doing, to the point where you don't even know that you're doing them. So how do I do this? This includes wake up routines, meal repetitions, and macronutrient utilization throughout the week. Auto-syncing tracking apps so that I can keep track of my health, my life, and the activities that I'm doing without having to go from app to app, site to site, allowing me to keep myself accountable whilst knowing what I need to focus on that week. For example, it might say that my sleep is down, and I know that's something that I need to do. So I'll just naturally then start improving my sleep and I won't have to think about the other things because on my tracking, I'll see that they're going just fine. So then I can just keep doing them subconsciously as I normally would. When if I don't have these things, I might feel like I'm feeling tired. Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? When because I have everything synced and I have the data, I can feel tired one day and know exactly the reason for that. And that just allows me to instantly fix it, which gives me speed. It makes it easy for me and it helps me be consistent. And then the next one is progress tracking, warm-up tracking, goal setting, and actually having weekly rituals. Making it easy for yourself isn't about laziness, it's about being intelligent. Discipline on a task isn't about pushing yourself every day to make it as hard as possible for you. It's just about doing it very, very consistently. An example of this is you have two runners. They both run 5K. One makes it really hard to schedule. It doesn't fit in, it never feels good, he never has energy because he doesn't have time to eat before it. And then he ends up doing the run and he has to force himself to do that run because he doesn't feel good during it. The other looks over their schedules, finds out where the habits lie that fit in with that run that will give them energy for the run. And the second guy is going to beat the first guy every single time because on the days he doesn't want to do it, he's still made it easy enough for himself that he doesn't need as much motivation as the other guy. Because the more consistent you can be, the more self-belief you can build, and then the more you can become the killer that you want to be. Basically, if health, fitness, going to the gym, doing the tasks you need to do become easy, then it can become forever. If you just win at one vector, you will get results. But if you can stack 2, 3 or more, then you won't just get great results, you'll become an actual fucking weapon. Just like one of the guys that I trained, Tamir, who started to smash the gym on a 3-day-a-week plan, went from 50 to 100K a month revenue every single month in his business, got more goals because he was more confident in himself, started feeling better, had more energy and more testosterone to then attack the day and attack his goals every single day, looked 10 times better within the first 2 months because he was actually training following a good schedule, and started to build his self-belief because he knew he could actually be the guy that didn't just earn loads of money through his business and help loads of people, but could also be in amazing shape, look after himself and be present with the people around him. If you're serious about separating yourself from the average guy, not just in business or life or work, but in the way you feel and you act, go and watch my next YouTube video, which is going to take you to the next level, making you 99% better than all of these entrepreneurs in 2025. It's called How to Get Better Than 95% of Entrepreneurs in 2025. I break down exactly what the top 5% of entrepreneurs are doing to be peak performers and high achievers. And if you're not doing it, you're already behind. So I'll see you there in the next video.